Okay, I'm setting this up for you to be working at home. This is my palette. I've been working on the floor of the studio. Lighting's pretty poor down here, but I'm going to deal with what we can. I have some red, yellow, purple, and blue, and some green. And you should be at this stage at this point in the Venetian mode painting. The painting is essentially complete. We're only going to be glazing over what we already have here. So to begin, let's begin with, let's assume this is going to be a red apple here. This is just a preference of mine. I prefer that the red be a little warmer, so I'm going to warm it up some with a little yellow added to it. So I'm going to create for myself a red that is just a little warmer than what came out of the tube. Right. Now, ordinarily for glazing, we would be using something like this, which is, gloss medium and varnish. And this would be used to thin the paint and make the glazes, but you're working at home, the likelihood is that you're not going to have this at your house. So we're going to make a substitution that you can easily get, and that is a little bit of Elmer's glue into a cup. So put a little Elmer's glue in a cup. You don't need a lot. And then some water. So we're putting some water in with the Elmer's glue. Got about 1 part Elmer's glue to about 20 parts water probably. Mix it up pretty well. This is so that we can thin this paint into a glaze medium and still have pretty good adherence to the canvas, because we've already got a lot of acrylic paint on here. Just water and paint is not going to give you a real solid and well adhered paint film in the end. So every time we mix, every time we rinse our brush and wet the brush, we're going into the Elmer's glue mixture, okay? You may not be able to see that, you'll probably hear it. So the brush is wet with the Elmer's glue water, and we're going to make this a red apple. So we want a red that is very transparent. So we're looking for something that's very transparent out here. We're going to paint out the apple. And it should be transparent enough that you can see through it and see all of the lights and darks that have already been built into the apple at this point. So all of your shadows and all of your highlights, using the water Elmer's glue mixture again here. It's already there, and it is simply glazing over the apple as it exists, and your shadows and your middle highlights, not absolute highlights, but the middle highlights, they're already in here at this point. As a phenomena goes, very often, you can see that, we've got our shadows and our highlights built into this. It's a good idea to err on the side of maybe something that's too transparent and build than it is to put something down that's too opaque, and you lose all of your highlights and shadows that you've already got in. A phenomenon that happens sometimes on a white surface is that it will pick up a little bit of whatever object is sitting on it as reflected light, so I'm adding a little bit of that red down in here onto this white tablecloth. Probably use a little denser red right in here. Let's do that. Okay, we can make this other apple, we can make it green or red or yellow. I'm going to go for something that is a yellow-green, okay? So move a little green out and we'll add a little yellow to it. Let's see what I like here. I kind of like that. I'm going to go even a little more yellow. And then we'll go into our Elmer's Blue Water mixer again. Into the paint. Paint this one out. I'm going to avoid that foreground hair. Pretty much have a green apple back here. Yes. Alright, we can go into our hair in the foreground, and I think probably it could be something that is almost entirely yellow, but maybe with just a touch of green in it. Touch of green into that yellow. Sorry. Again into our mixture of water and Elmer's glue, into the paint, making sure that it's semi-transparent. Semi-transparent. Paint out the pear. All the hard work was done when we did the black and white image to start with. So now, not very difficult. Just kind of painting the thing out. And we have our kind of yellowish green pear. I think I'll alter it a little bit, give it some greens and yellows. Good. And again, chances are that this white tablecloth will pick up a little bit of that reflected light from that yellow object there. So okay. Now we will have strong highlights on these, so there'll be, maybe a little highlight right in there. Could pick up another one, but gonna need a little strong highlight on it somewhere. A little strong highlight in here, most likely. I'm kind of guessing at this right now. I don't have the image in front of me, but we're putting a couple of little highlights in here. Stronger highlights. But maybe a strong highlight up here on the top, and let's say maybe right in there. Let's get a couple of, heavier little places where the light's hitting the fruits generally. And so surface that is reflective, so do that. Now, for these stems on the fruit, we already have the dark put in, but we painted over the top of them. We're just going to use a little bit of white paint to go in and emphasize the highlights on the stems. Okay, I'm rinsing the brush again. And where we have these cast shadows here, away from the fruit, that's where we're going to use a little bit of blue, a little bit of purple. We're going to keep it on the blue side. A little bit of purple in it so it's warm blue. And paint that out. You can drop up onto the fruit a little bit if you want to, if you don't have really strong highlights in it at that point, but you know, whether you want to do that or not, that's kind of up to you. But we're right now just painting out the shadows with some blue so that we cool them off some. Blue and a touch of purple, just a touch of purple. It's mainly blue. I've got a little bit of purple in here. And we're painting out the shadows. Notice I don't mind if I get on the fruit a little bit, because it's not going to make any difference, and it won't make any difference if I get away from the shadows some as well that I painted in earlier. Paint, paint, paint. And the shadows. It would be unusual to see this much white cloth unarticulated in any way, so with a very thin mixture of that blue-purple, I'm going to tack some of it in here and there, just so that I don't have quite that much absolute white unarticulated space in there. So just adding a little bit of this blue-purple mixture in here in a place or two. So that it's not quite all the absolute white of the can. Well, it's not the white of the canvas. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So a little bit of just some articulation to it. I think I told you that this stage of this painting will get really, really rapidly. See, I'm actually done. I'm going to put a little more purple in here just because I want to see it. All right, and that was our stage where we went in and used a little glazing process over the top of our grisaille or grayscale. That's the painting. Don't leave that mixture of Elmer's glue and water in your brush. Be sure to rinse it really well after this, because glue is glue. Bye-bye.